Welcome to TT from the D podcast show. This is our Wind Down Wednesday session, and I am super excited about my amazing guest for this evening. But first, I want to remind you that this is the Grown and Sexy show, and TT from the D podcast can feature a wide range of guests that include community leaders, entertainers, authors, business professionals, and entrepreneurs. And our target audience is vast with something for everybody. We enjoy using our platform to inspire, encourage, empower, and motivate our people while adding a little bit of laughter and excitement along the journey. Now, I'm very aware that there are several other podcast shows out here, and you could have taken the time to log on to any one of those, but you chose to chill out with us tonight, and I hope that what you hear and learn from my amazing guests will not only motivate you, but encourage you to follow your dreams. Now, let me give you a little insight about my amazing guests. First of all, it's my honor and it's a pleasure to introduce one of the dopest producing musicians in the industry, who just happens to be from the D. He's a Grammy-nominated producer who blew our minds with hit songs like No More Drama. Now, you know, that was our anthem, right? Because we was just tired, but we loved it. Even fellas was singing that. You couldn't go without hearing the queen of hip hop soul with that song blaring out the speakers. When it hit the scene, it was just like, well, let's go. You also can find this brother somewhere in the D, somewhere in the ATL, and occasionally out in Los Angeles, where I would rather be right about now, but that's a whole nother story. He's a local legend in his own right, and he is as humble as they come. He's had several amazing artists that he's worked with. As I said earlier, the queen of hip hop soul, but also the queen of soul, our beautiful Miss Aretha Franklin. He's worked with one of my guys I wish I could have met, Gerald Levert. He's worked with Queen Latifah, Next, Silk, Busta Rhymes, Too Short. The list is endless. But again, he's one of the most humble cats I've ever had the pleasure of meeting. So without any further ado, I would like to welcome to TT from the D for the very first time, Kenny Flave. Hey, my fam, how are you?
Hey, TT. Thank you so much. You write my bio. You're going to write my new bio right there. That was beautiful right there. Thank you so much. I appreciate you for real.
You are certainly welcome. It really is an honor, Flav, to actually have the opportunity to steal you away from everything that you be doing to sit on my show.
Sure.
I mean, it means everything. I've been trying to stalk you for a little minute, and I'm watching. I see you're on the go and you're doing a lot of things, but you're also quiet. You move like a ninja. So, but
yeah, it's a little like, you know, like walking around with socks. You know what I'm saying, in the house. You know, when you can run up on somebody in the house with socks on. You know, hey, what you doing? The kids in there like taking snacks or whatever. Yeah, it's kind of like that. Yeah, I was like, you know, yeah. I just like to move quiet. That's just me. That's just how I am, and move in purpose. You know, so.
I can touch and agree with that. I'm learning the hard way, I suppose, to move in silence. I think for me, just being in the industry in the way that I am, I love what I do. I love working with people. So I'm always like, hey, I try to support people's projects and whatever they're doing. So I'm always shedding light. But sometimes I guess I could take a note from your page and just say, move quietly. It seems like you get a lot more done moving quietly than you do when you make a movement.
Yeah, I mean, like, I just had my 50th birthday on June 14th, right? So
happy birthday, sir! Happy birthday!
Thank you so much, and I appreciate that. When I was younger, I was a little bit more flashy. I was still humble, but it was just kind of more so like I had that energy. Now it's about what you do more than you like kind of bigging yourself up. So it's just like my mentality. It's cool to big yourself up. I live through people who can do that really well, but I like to have something to leave behind that means something, you know, more so than just the bragging right thing, or just the, you know. And I get it. I get the whole thing. It's a sport, you know, but I like to make the quiet moves. I always admire the people who just sit in the back or in the front and they just make their moves. And they make their moves. It says everything for them, you know. And they don't have to speak much, you know.
I feel that. And I think I think there's a difference in between being humble and arrogant. You can be very confident and humble, or you can be very arrogant and confident. So I can appreciate the way you move. Like I said, you get a lot done. Yeah, I do. I remember when I first met you, I think I came out to y'all studio in Southfield, and I was going out with Dodi Alexander. And
wow.
yeah, she was performing, and I went out.
Great Dodi Alexander.
Yes, that's a queen in her own right. But I had the pleasure of meeting you, and that was also my first time meeting Cordell, who's a beast as well.
Wow.
And I was thinking, like, I never met them. I heard of them, and y'all was so quiet and laid back, and I was like, oh, okay. But I was like, wow, when I got to learn more about y'all, I was like, oh, okay. And then when I really got to spend some time in the same space with you is at one of Beth's private listening parties. Yep, and I just watched you. You had your super duper dope niece with you. And yes. And so it was just like watching you. You were quiet, very humble. You know, Beth loves you because you produced for her as well. And it was just like, you still sitting there. Yeah. Shout out to Beth, who makes it work and out there on the road as we speak.
Yeah, that's my girl. Like we got like about, I think, a good 2.5 decades up on our relationship. So that's my girl. You know what I'm saying?
That's
my
so
home girl.
Yeah. Yes. So let's jump right into this ocean of understanding a little bit about who you are. I would like, because some people might not know, but some people would know. Like if I said, hey, Kenny Flave, most people would say, oh, yeah, I know Kenny Flave. Then if I say, hey, y'all know Kenneth Dickerson, some people are like, yeah, Kenny Flave. It's like, who is Kenneth Dickerson versus Kenny Flave?
Oh, man. Man, I mean, you ain't even got enough time on this thing here. It's I mean, really, just to be honest with you, it all go hand in hand together. I ain't trying to sound cliche or weird or nothing, but it all go hand in hand together because it's two different things or whatever. You know, I'm Gemini, the double-sided, quadro-sided, whatever you want to call it, but it is what it is, you know. But it helps. It's like, dang, Kenneth Dickerson is like the guy who check on his mom every day, make sure she okay. And just striving to do more, feeling like it's less time, but it's a lot more to do. It's so much more to do than ever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then it's Flav is the one that's like, okay, forget all this noise about the personal world, going grocery shopping, paying bills, taking care of stuff, making sure everybody's straight, as opposed to over here, everybody leave me alone. I'm recording and creating. So if you ain't in this space with me, then stay over there. You know what I'm saying? So
gotcha.
I guess that's how, like, that's the best way I can put it. Like, you know.
I like that, especially when you utilize Gemini, because it's kind of like, it's two sides of y'all.
Yeah, sometimes, the duality.
Yeah, I like that. And that would say, okay, if I catch, let me see who I'm running into in the street. Okay. And I think I would judge that by what you're doing, probably for me. And anybody else that would actually like, oh, is this Kenneth I'm talking to? Or is this Kenny I'm talking to? And I've had the pleasure of running into Kenny.
Yeah. Some people get the different. It depends. It's like the comfortability or whatever. But like you said, you met me. I was like laid back, quiet, because in different environments, I don't like to like be like, okay, all loud. Who is that over there? You know, what I'm saying? Who drunk uncle was that? You know, but so I'm drinking, but I'm quiet. You know
right.
So you know, that's just the way. I used to mix it all up when I was younger. Trust me, it wasn't no thing. I would just mix all one big ball of stuff. So I know how to separate stuff and give this his boundary, give this his boundaries, but it's all a purpose though. Even the Kenneth Dickerson, the Flav version, it's all purposeful. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I'm just a worker, really a worker. You know.
I respect that.
Yeah. You know, guys, you know, worker. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm here to put it together and connect people, put people together, even if I ain't involved. You know, there's different stuff like that.
I could relate to that. I like to look at myself as a little connector. I might not know how to do something, but I know somebody that know how to do what you're talking about, and let me connect y'all. Yeah, I get that. Now, let me ask you, where did the alias Kenny Flave come from?
It pretty much, I was trying to think of a name of my publishing company when I was like, probably like, I think I was like 18 or something like that, 19. I forget what year it was. It was kind of like around them years or whatever. And I used to, I was just looking at all these other producers I was playing Ghost keyboards for. They had like all this stuff, the publishing company, they had this LLC, all this stuff going on. So I was like, what's the name of my company gonna be? And I just said Kenny Flave Publishing. And then from there, I started using it. And then everybody's like, man, your music don't have, you got versatility. You got so many flavors in your music or whatever. And that was the word back in the day. And I was like, dang, it'd be dope if I could keep using this name out there, play out over and over again. And but it's for me, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, it's my version of it or whatever. So I just pretty much took from my publishing name, Kenny Flave Publishing, and made that my moniker. I didn't like Kenny Dickerson, you know, naturally. You know what I'm saying? So I went with that, and then for a while, a Kenny Flave thing for a while. And then I just went Flave and then rebranded myself or whatever, pretty much, you know.
Gotcha. And there's nothing wrong with that, because from time to time, every now and then, it's important to rebrand. You're still a brand, and that brand ain't never going to be forgotten initially. But sometimes when we come out and redo, it gives a little bit of spice. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
Now, let me ask you, what was the very first song you ever produced, and who was the artist?
Very first song. Dang,
I know you got a roster. I already know.
First song.
Like your first kiss. Like, you remember.
Oh, okay. All right. It was okay. This is a co-produced situation. Okay. It was with I used to be a part of this group called the Mad Men, right?
Really?
Back in the day, yeah. It's some West Side guys. Anthony Shake Shakir, one of the founding fathers of Detroit techno, with Juan, Kevin, and Eddie, and Derek May, and all that. He's the guy who grew up in our neighborhood, and we used to look up to him, so he became our mentor, and we used to work under him and do a bunch of stuff or whatever. So we had these guys in the neighborhood that rap called Double Threat, and we took Najee's Bet You Don't Know and flipped it, right, and made a song on it. And that joint go hard even today. And ain't nobody even used that, boy. I might have to use that, but so it never came out. Nobody ever used it. It's a dope record, but well, I flipped that and played piano over it. I think somebody else sampled it. I think my best friend Lynn, who's my best friend still to this day, I think he made the beat or took the idea. That's what he wanted to sample. And I just played keys over and started playing instruments over it. And they was like, dang, like, wow, you know, I know we work good together, but dang, I ain't know it's going to be like this because we was on the spot in the studio. So that was like the first record. And then I would say if it's really like my real first record producing by myself, it's like with this artist Bombshell from back in the day. Detroit rapper. She was like really one of the first.
I remember her.
Yeah. I did her record. What you gonna do? You can't get with the Bombshell, you know. So I did that record for her. That was like the first thing I did by myself. But I was doing a lot of remixes. So I would say those two. You know. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. I definitely do remember Bombshell.
Yeah.
Yep. So tell me, because I know I would have probably lost my whole mind. What was it like when you got the call to work with the queen of hip hop soul, Mary J. Blige, versus the call you got from the first lady of rap to me, Queen Latifah?
They was both there at the same time.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you serious? Really?
All right. So look, this is how it went. Like,
oh my God.
This is when I was living in New York. So I don't know if I told you I lived in New York quite some time, like for probably 9 years. Back and forth to Detroit. I was in Detroit probably more, but I lived in New York.
Okay.
Definitely did business there more.
Okay.
But But Latifah's been managing me off and on throughout the years, and we still do a lot of work together even to this day. But she was like really playing a managerial role for my career. Like, it was just so crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like a whole different. I'm talking about like on the phone, like Russell Simmons. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like,
wow!
Like calling, like people don't know this side of her. Like this business. You know what I'm saying? It's just so crazy. But yeah. So I'm in the studio one day, working with her, the Electric Lady. I think this is like Jimi Hendrix studio, and they got the same furniture in there. It's got the lava lamps and all this stuff in there. It looked like Nutbush was recorded there.
Okay.
So so just to give you a visual, right? So,
got it.
Without the aquarium,
right.
So I'm there recording this. We doing some records and stuff like that. And then Ken Du, who was our assistant at the time, was like, "Hey, you know what I'm saying? My girl getting ready to come." You know, so I was like, "Nigga, who your girl?" You know, and he was like, "You gonna see? She gonna pull up in a minute." So me and Latifah, we going through records and stuff like that. And then boom, Ken Du girl get there, and it's Mary J. Blige.
Wow.
You know, he say, "You got some tracks for her?" And I was like, I got some tracks. Yeah, of course. Like, who you talking to? Like, what? And I was like, then I was like, back then we was doing these DATs. That was where we like, you know, everybody got MP3s now, but like we was using DATs. So I was just happened to make all these different tracks for her, not knowing I was gonna meet her, but I was trying to figure out how I was gonna meet her. It's the weirdest thing. I manifested it. So crazy. Right, and then it just happened. So it happened that like it was just a direct connection and all that stuff, and one thing led to another. Anyhow, she there, and I played. I get the DAT from a friend of mine. A friend of mine came down. I paid for their cab. They were somewhere in Manhattan. I was like, "Give me this DAT. I need this DAT. You don't understand. I need it right now." So they brought it down. Paid for their lunch. Paid for them to go back to where they was going. Boom. I pulled the data up. I was like, this one song I just got to play. It's just for her, right? And I played it for her. It was all these people in the room, got to play it and stuff. Because I asked Latifah first, like, can I play something? I know this our session. She was like, I ain't getting in the way of nothing you doing, Flav. You go ahead and do your thing. He'll holler at me when you finish. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
Yeah. So just to give you this is who she really is. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I started playing this dot. I just played one beat, nothing else. It wasn't 2 or 3 beats and nothing like that. It was just this one entire beat that I had for her. And everybody was like, when the beat was over with, everybody was like, you know, looking at she on sunglasses sitting in the corner in the back, had on. I just remember her having on white and her legs was crossed. So she had on glasses like the My Life album. And everybody's like, hey, did you like it? 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 And she was like, oh, it was okay.
Oh.
Yeah. I was like, dang. You know, so my boy was there with me. He was like on some console. He was like, Flav, you know what? There's many other battles. And I was like, what? I was like, man, this is crazy. So she let everybody else walk out the room and converse and all this stuff. And they walked away. And it was just me and my boy in there and her. She was like, that is some of the sweetest shit I've ever heard in my life. Like, I'll be back in 2 weeks. I'm gonna record that song, and I want to hear what else you got. And that's what we did.
Wow.
Yeah. She didn't want to be. Everybody was all up. You know, that's just. I was like, oh, that's who she is. She reserved, so I get that because I am myself. You know.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, so that's how it happened. Yeah. Then she came back. She had to do some tour dates. She came back to New York. We recorded 8 complete records. This girl was recording 3 songs a day, you know.
Wow.
So I used this as my measuring stick for artists that I work with today because I had to tell them, okay, I know the game is different, but there's a like ceiling that I really like that I haven't seen repeated often, you know.
That's huge. That you're giving me a whole nother way of looking at both of those queens because they're queens in their own right.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
I never knew the other side of Queen Latifah, outside of being an actress and a rapper.
They were there in the
artist.
Same room. They were there.
I know,
yeah,
and I'm like, then for you to say, like, because when you hit me with the, she was like, it was all right. I was like, oh dang, that had to been like a sting, but all along, of course, because you didn't know. But it's kind of like she's sitting back, she's reserved, she's letting everybody say what they're gonna say. Y'all network politics. I'm putting my finger on that one, and I'll be back. And then she came back, and not only did she come back to do that, y'all did several more. That's amazing. I didn't even know all of that.
Yeah, 75 songs. Down 3 of them made it to a 17 song
album. So, wow. Salute to you.
Oh, thank you. It was some different factors that attributed to that too as well, but it was just how it happened. It happened like that. Sometimes I've done records with different other artists that are superstars, that, just like how she is, and nothing ever came out, and I didn't get the credit for it. So that's just how it goes. You know what I'm saying? So the ball bounced in my corner that particular time. And and to correct you real quick, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis produced "No More Drama." That was the title track of the album. So. So politically, well, not politically so much. It's like you spend your more money on Dre and Jam and Lewis. Those are going to be your singles. Gotcha.
Okay, got you. Note to self and all the rest of us who are learning the game. You see your name on the disc and the biographies and work, and it's like your work is solid. It speaks for itself, to say the least. It's kind of like when you look at your roster. Yeah. It's like you, and then what I love about you, and we'll go right back into this TTism right now. But what I love about you is that the styles of people, sometimes, just like actors, I believe sometimes get typecasted. I believe sometimes people get with producers who sound all alike. Like, I don't like when you hear a producer and you be like, oh, so-and-so did that. Not that there is, oh, I hear a certain drum or she uses or this. No, that same beat sound like I just heard it just twinked a little bit, and it's like, oh, so-and-so. There was a producer, I'm glad I can't remember their name because I wouldn't want to put them out there like that anyway, but it was somebody back in the day that you could tell when they produced a song because it all sounded alike. And I was like, yeah, that doesn't make you stand out though. You're not, with you, you're giving us exactly what your name say. You're giving us flavor. You're getting us different colors.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. And I think I really admire the people who have a sound, because I mean, it goes hand in hand. I mean, like the Beatles have a sound, Luther Vandross had a sound, even as an artist. Some people have a sound, you know what I'm saying? Even with their music and whatever. So I don't mind that for a producer having it. And I have a sound in my own little way, because I know it's a little bit unique from the next producer or whatever. But I think now, by being more saturated, I think versatility is more accepted now than ever. I think everybody's bored with this. Okay, you got this sound from this person, this sound. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That we wore that out a little bit. So it's room for the next. And we don't even have the next here really like that, but it's brewing in different places. I
agree. And you're right about that. I just watched somebody's interview and they were talking about how there's so much room for everybody in this game. It doesn't need to be all of this, nepotism and all these other things that go into side deals and just all the, if we support one another and we encourage, I think we can get ahead faster than trying to hold people back, stop people from growing. So, yeah. But anyway, back on to our ex, because I can get off and I'm like, okay, so Flave, what you think about? Okay, so no, we're gonna stay on course. So I noticed one thing, and I said this a little earlier, that you're very quiet and humble, really reserved. So it makes me want to ask you, do you believe humility can take you places where arrogance can't?
I'm not really high on humility like that. I'm just really observant and reserved in a way. I'm not even reserved like that, because I'll talk to everybody. I'll talk your ear off, everything. If you give me a chance, if I find out you can listen. All I do is need to find out if you'll listen. Then that's But I'm not like super big on humility like that, because I think that people put too much into that, and I think that holds people back. Some people back. They don't know what's the threshold of humility, and all that is confusing to people. So I think sometimes it's used and taught in a negative way, where people watch yourself, stay humble. Like, what does that mean? You know what I'm saying? Like now being over the line is arrogant, I guess. I guess that's a need for that too as well, but it ain't for everybody to be that way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think it's a need for a little bit of everything. We need people with confidence. I don't like the idea, the concept of belittling somebody's confidence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think for me, the way from me being on the outside looking at you, my perception is that you're your own person. And it significantly stands out.
I appreciate that so much. I work really hard for that.
Well, you got it.
Really
And that's
do. I really do. Yeah.
You are welcome. I think that's why I look at you as being very humble, because you significantly stand out, yet you're not trying, like, you know, I don't know how to say, like somebody would, he always coming in with them lime colors. No, there's something about you that makes you stand out, yet you're reserved. And it makes you interesting. So it's kind of like you want to know more about you. Like, you're interesting, talented, yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's those type of people will catch my attention, like, there's more to you know, versus
I've had so many
everything.
Yeah, I have had people walk up to me and just be like, just start conversations and stuff like that. I've met mentors like that, just like being in my own world, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
or having to wear this outfit on in a place. You know what I'm saying? It could be anything like that, you know, whatever. But energy recognizes energy. I always say that all the time, you know. I'm an observer of energy myself too, you know, so I get it.
Touche. I like to say spirits peep spirits. Like we be seeing, you know, when you recognize. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I definitely. Like my friend Johnny Audible said the other day. He said, "I see not with my eyes."
I like that. I like that. See, I caught that right there. I caught that. I like that. Yeah. Tell your friend. I said, okay, I see you.
I would never forget that. And that was like less than a week ago. I'll never forget you said that to me. Never, ever. Yep.
Okay. I like that. I might have to adopt that a little bit, borrow that, you know. And I'll say, I got this from Flave, but let me share this with you.
Oh, that's Johnny Audible. That's the great Johnny Audible. Yeah, look him up. You might want to talk to him too. He manages J Electronica. And man, deep brother, man, so talented, man. One of the best of Detroit music, period, man.
Okay.
So yeah,
I'm gonna do some homework then.
I seen, yeah, definitely. But yeah, that quote came from him. I can take credit for that.
Well, I like it. So I'll have to give by way, partial, and whole to yes. Okay, gotcha. Respect it.
For cheesy.
Now you've produced for a lot of amazing Detroit artists. Because I've heard your name a lot, but I really got to know and got the pleasure of meeting you because of Dodi Alexander and BETH. What was it like working with from your own city versus working with someone that we internationally know?
I really want like people from my city that I work with to really, really win. Like I'm really biased.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm really biased. But that goes to a certain extent because it's about purpose at the end of the day. So it's a purpose-driven end of the day attitude. But I'm really more so that the artists that I do like to work with, that I end up working with, like I just want to be one of them people that be like, okay, you need a career boost. What you need? You need something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just people from the D, period. You know what I'm saying? Especially people I got that I know I can trust and that they'll do the right thing with the records once I give them to them, whether I look out for them or whatever or not. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just that trust as a producer. Are you going to do the marketing? It don't have to be a single. Okay, all right, well, cool. What are you going to do next? Do you own your RSRC codes? Are you do you take care of your business well? Because I'm really your work for hire. I mean, not a work for hire, but you know what I mean. I'm a partner that you're hiring to come collaborate with you, you know?
Yeah. No, I do understand.
And some people don't carry the business thing out all the way. That's the only problem, you know? And I understand why producers choose to work with different, you know, certain types of people that got a team, you know what I mean? Because they want to make sure the product really get out there, you know? But right. I'm kind of more so like, I'm going to always take a chance on somebody here and there. There's people that are completely wasting my time, and there's people that have completely like done a lot for their career and gotten to the next level and gotten to other doors, you know, gotcha. Because they were focused, you know what I mean? But it's always going to be, I'm going to always like have my hand on it. All right, what's next? Can I help you with marketing? Can I help you with anything? I know this. Can I, you know, with that? So I'm just going to always be that guy, you know.
I respect that.
When it comes to Detroit artists, you know.
Yeah, I respect that. That's a lot of love right there.
Yeah, because I came up with Michael Powell, looking at Michael Powell in my ear, giving me advice, and just different people, like being around some great people, getting a chance to see them work in the studio environment as like 20-year-old, 19-year-old just sitting there watching people. You know, so I just feel like it's a infinite thing with Detroit. It's gonna always be this way, no matter what. You know.
I respect that, and I'm glad to be able to have this opportunity for you to take time out, as like I said earlier, to bless my podcast. I know who you are. Like I know we can go back to what your friend Johnny said. I see now not with my eyes. Is that how he said that?
I see not with my eyes.
I see not with my eyes. I like to say spirits peep spirits. I said a few minutes ago about my view, my perception of you when I met you, heard about you, then I got to meet you. It was like, okay. Then I got to spend some time in the same space. It made me say, I want to know more about him, because it was just, you know. Like, you don't have to say much, but you know. And that's a beautiful thing about a human being, is when they don't have to speak, but they speak.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I respect that.
I thank you so much for that, too. Appreciate it.
You are welcome. You're welcome. Now, I have to ask you this. Do you have a motto?
If I did have a motto, it would be to constantly remind myself, get out your own way. That's it.
That's a word.
I was told that to someone, and somebody told that to me, and I actually got out my own way. Started the beginnings of getting out my own way, and life changed. You know, completely. Yeah.
That's a whole nother. If you know, in the future, I would love to bring you back on and let's unpack that, because I like that.
We can talk about that. Like that's a whole show, definitely. Okay. And I can. It's different levels and tiers to it too, as well. You know, so.
Yeah. I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
My last question for you, and this interview went super fast. Like, I feel like, what? I need to have about 45 more questions. But okay, so because it's just intriguing. Like I said, it's interesting talking to you. So
thank you. There's a lot to talk about. Mm-hmm.
You have a lot. You got a lot under your belt. To be young, you got a lot under your belt.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's a lot of stuff. It is a lot of stuff to unpack. But I'm just happy to talk about it. And just make sense of it all, because I really don't know how to tie everything in. I'm just working. You know, maybe it'll make sense later, but I'm just working. I'm still working.
Now, see, that's funny, because that brings me to my last question. What do you want to say to your older self?
My younger self say to my older self?
Yeah, you right now at 50 years old.
Older, as like 70s, 75.
Yes.
Nigga, we made it. No, I'm just playing.
Oh yes.
Yeah, that's about it. Damn.
That's so funny. I can't take it. Oh my goodness.
Whoa, we made it, because I be talking to people that's like I'm talking about like friends. I got friends that's like 85 years old, like, and I be like, do you know what, like, I would love to do to get here and get there, and they did all the craziest stuff in the world. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you made it to 85, and all these humble, cool people, they didn't make it to 85. You know what I'm saying? So it tells me, you know, the healthiest of the healthiest, you know, passed away early. This guy, you did all this rock and roll stuff, you still here, but you know, it's just that I made it. Like the 50, like when I got to 50, I really didn't realize it, but I, like, you know, as a black man, like we be tripping that we made it to 25. I was 17. I was like, oh boy, I get to 19, boy, oh, it's over. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, I get to 21, it's over. It's just like a 2-year increment, kind of. Like, it's really like more than that, but it's like we, you know, hope for this 2-year increment, you know, especially where we from, you know, and everything. But it'll be just like here, made it, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna make the best of it. If I get another 30 years, it's a wrap. I mean, 10 is like 30, but 30, man, you know. Yeah. You know, my son do this. He got a label. I got to make sure his label is straight. Make sure he good. You know, it's different people I'm helping out and helping build their brands. You know. Yeah. I receive that. This is bigger than just up here producing some records. Like it's more on the executive side to me now. You know, overseeing things and coaching artists, helping people to become mega stars, even though you don't see those anymore. You know what I'm saying? You know? Yeah.
Well, I'd love if you would gone and adopt another level of expertise and bring something else under your wings later in life as you start to get older and climb into 10, 20, 30 more years. Yeah. So why don't you think about us podcasters? Like what from the D, there's podcasters. Like, I think I got something brewing. It's just all the right time. It's just all the right time. I got something brewing, but all these things got to be battle tested and make sure they work. There's some innovative stuff going on, but they got to be tested. You know what I mean? Gotcha. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna stay on the ground, and I'm gonna keep my eyes open to the sky, keep it looking up, and I hope that as you are doing your battle testing, you will definitely
be remembered. You will definitely be thought about, and it's this process, I would say, here, and we'll talk more, you know, off the record, definitely, you know.
I appreciate that. I'm interested. You know, you got my wheels turning, so I'm thinking like, okay, because it's like, it seems like whatever you tend to touch, it just does something, and there's no clock attached to it. There is no clock. And you know, I like that.
No, this 3 months, this is gonna work now for 3 months from now. It's a cringe to have something 2 years later, you be like, damn, that didn't date so well. We got like a nice little quality control. Like, it's people, we've been knowing each other for 30 years, and they just like me, they're versatile. You know, it ain't just me by myself. You know, there's people who have been working together. I just work with the same people, and I adapt new people in from here and there. There's just like the people who I've been working with for the past 30, 35 years.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's respected. And the things that I do, I like to look at myself as a little jack of all trades, and people used to call me a little Jamaican as I was growing older, because I had my hands into everything, trying to figure out what I love to do. You're good at this, and let me tap into that, and let me see. And so it's kind of like you find yourself here, and you're like, dang, you couldn't have told me I'd be doing what I do now, because I was doing something else. Well,
you do it really well.
I received that.
Really good job. Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate that love. But
no problem.
I'm hoping that you will come back again, and I'm hoping that we can unpack the show Get Out of Your Own Way. There's tears to that.
There's tears to it.
Yeah.
And you can make it a topic of your show, and I'll just come in and say a little bit, and you can talk to other people. But yes, I definitely got a testimony regarding that, and that's what led me to the true meaning of purpose. You know, and I always felt like I've been like I've been you know, to my mission of purpose, but it took me more to that because you cut out the unnecessary things that you don't need. And you can only do that when you striving toward purpose. You know, when you let distractions get the best of you, then that takes you away. I like this visual real quick. I'll leave you with this one. This is kind of how I look at it. Like, okay, if you got a room, it's like got a whole bunch of furniture and it's crowded, you can't move around in it. So it's the same thing as getting out your way, right?
Right.
You know? Yeah,
I get that. You're right.
You gotta clean the room and make your little feng shui. Get you some little shit. Get your little order. This supposed to go over here. Everything all cluttered up together. That's how it's gonna be in the mental in the brain. So
now you ain't came on to something, Flav. I love when I learned about feng shui. I think I was in my early 20s, and I'm like, oh, so my feet need to, and the plants need to, and the light. When I tell you, I started reorganizing my house, and I really felt, I don't know if it was mind over matter or if it really had truth to it, but I really felt a different aura about the way things were set up, how the energy was flowing.
But you ain't pay nobody $2,000 for it though, right?
That's a hard to write. No.
That's how I learned about it. His girlfriend paid $2,000 for it. So I
bought a little book from Barnes and Noble.
See, I learned the hard way. I learned with those two words. So I use it freely now in my conversation. So, but yeah.
Yeah, nope. I think it was $9.99.
Yeah, you smart.
I learned. But I appreciate it. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your conversation, the jewels that you dropped, the motivation that you shared, and I'm hoping that our listeners, wherever they sit in their life, wherever they are on their journey, that they feel that they got another level to their purpose and they go ahead and plant their feet to start moving in a new direction.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, appreciate that. Big time. Appreciate that.
Once again, thank you for being a guest on my show tonight. I appreciate you. And I'm looking forward to seeing you again. What? Are you serious?
No, I'm serious. I'm dead ass. Thank you for asking. For real.
Thank you for accepting.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you, for real.
You are welcome. Much love to you, my brother.
All right, you too. Thank you much.
You're welcome. You too.
Okay.
Bye-bye.